Hi, I'm Joe Chili. Listen to me mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. on Buffalo's oldie station, The Big Weck. Welcoming our guest today on Buffalo on the Rise, Dr. Maria Louise Frosini, and it's from Frosini Functional NP in Family Health, right?
Yes.
And the NP stands for?
Nurse practitioner.
Nurse practitioner.
Yes.
What's the difference between a nurse practitioner and a registered nurse? And is there a lot more studying involved?
Yes. So a nurse practitioner, we are registered nurses. So we hold a baccalaureate degree in nursing, and we sat for our state boards, and we became an RN, so we're a registered nurse. And the only way you can become a nurse practitioner is you have to be a registered nurse, and you go on for a master's degree.
Can you prescribe?
Yes, so I can do everything a physician can do. The only thing that nurse practitioners do not do is we do not do surgery.
So what got you involved? This is, you have a pretty involved background.
Yeah.
Was this something you always wanted to do? Did you get involved early in life? Did you get involved, after college? How did this all work out?
Actually, I remember falling in love with medicine and healthcare. I was in 6th grade. So
Really?
It started really early for me. And I remember my teacher, we were talking about the human body, and we were in 6th grade, and I remember the very first system was the digestive system. And I was just so fascinated, and I really enjoyed it and really grew to love it, and really grew to love healthcare. And I remember at the age of 13, I wanted to be a candy striper, and I was begging my mom. I'm like, Mom, I want to be a candy striper. And she goes, Maria, I don't know if you can, I don't know how old you have to be. Well, I'm from North Tonawanda. I grew up in North Tonawanda, and my mother took me to DeGraff Hospital, and she said, listen, my daughter's 13 years old. She wants to be a candy striper. How old does she have to be? And they said, well, she has to be 14 years old. And my mother was like, okay, so she turns 14 in May. This is March. I'll bring her back in May. So in May, my mother took me back, and I signed up and loved it.
Boy,
and
you
never looked back.
You really brought me back when you start talking about candy stripers. I mean, I don't know, are they still around?
You know what? They are, no, I think they're like volunteers, like they're
Really?
they're volunteers, yeah. I don't think they call them candy stripers anymore. My girls used to volunteer
Really?
at St. Mary's in the hospital as like candy stripers, but they weren't called that.
Yeah, they may be like
Yeah.
saccharin stripers now, something with less sugar.
Really?
Next question.
Yeah.
What is functional medicine?
Functional medicine, what it is, it gets to the root cause of patients' healthcare issues. And I know people are like, well, what does that mean? That means what we do is, okay, let's say you're going to your healthcare provider and you're saying, you know what? I'm not feeling well. So you have tests are being done and everything, results come back, and your healthcare provider says, everything's fine. There's nothing wrong. You leave that appointment and you say, but there's got to be something wrong because I am not feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
In functional medicine, we get to the root and we say, okay, why are you not feeling well? What is going on? There has to be something that is causing you not to feel well. So what we do is we look at that. We look at those tests that were done. Our parameters tend to be a little different than in regular medicine. And so we look at that, but we can also do advanced testing. So there's a lot of advanced testing that we can do. We look at a lot of blood work, and we look at vitamin levels, and when we're running thyroid, we'll run different thyroid tests. So it's more there's just a lot more to it.
Yeah,
exactly. It gets down to the specifics. So, we're looking for T4s and T3s and all this stuff that we look for in for thyroid. So not just a TSH, free T3, free T4, things like that, thyroid antibodies, which all is very important.
So you'll explain this all to folks. So we just have a couple of minutes left. But one of the things I wonder is, if you're going to the doctor, and a traditional doctor does X-rays and does tests, and it doesn't always show everything, like you said, right? It'll give you a general idea if something major is wrong. But it doesn't. It's like, well, the knee bone's connected to the wrist bone or whatever. So you get down to the root cause.
Correct.
Of what is actually going on.
Yes. And it is not that if a patient comes into me and they need to go see their primary care provider, or if they need to go see an endocrinologist or cardiologist, I am going to send them. If I feel that, okay, this is out of the scope of functional medicine and I need to send them off, I am going to do that because, functional medicine, what we do is we do the chronic care. And, we need somebody to do the acute stuff. And I have no problem because I want what's best for my patients.
All right. 5500 Main Street, Suite 344.
Correct.
344. That's in Williamsville. That's where you're located,
it is.
right?
Yep, the Keller Williams building.
And is there a website, phone number people can access?
Yes. So my phone number is 716-201-0753.
Okay.
Website is www.frosinifunctionalnp.com.
Dr. Maria Louise Frosini, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
For more information and answers to your questions, contact Frosini Functional NP and Family Health by calling 716-201-0753 or go to FrosiniFunctionalNP.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by Frosini Functional NP and Family Health. And start your weekdays with me 7 to 9 a.m. on the Big Weck.